Hey guys, this is Pseudo, and welcome to Sanctuary Cast number 3, podcast for League of Legends from Southeast Asia for you guys. With me today, I have two people. One is a returning guest, and one is a new person out there. My returning guest, the Indian, aka John. How are you?
I'm pretty good, man. It's good to be back.
I love how I introduce you as Indian and not John first.
A famous Indian now.
And joining us today on the Sanctuary Cast, we actually have Anthony, also known as Impressions, the emissary of the league for Garena in Southeast Asia. Welcome, Anthony.
Yo, it's nice to be here. I actually joked about coming or joining for the cast, but yeah, since now I'm here, I'll just share my thoughts out to you guys if you all don't mind.
Of course, we don't mind you're here, after all.
I don't mind.
Papa John. Yeah, it's good to be with Papa John.
Yeah.
Now everybody's beginning to find out like John has so many other interesting names to him.
It's the legendary Blitzcrank as well. If
Oh.
you did know.
Come on, let's not tell my secrets to everyone.
Yeah, let's keep it a secret for now.
Okay, in this week, we'll be focusing on two main titles. One of it is competitions, and within competitions, we'll be talking about the season 2 finale, as well as Australia getting left out of it. And thirdly, we're talking about IPL 5. In the second main topic, we'll be talking about the Asian community and what changes has it seen in the past 1 week, or what developments have been there. And some of these developments includes when is the patch of spectator mode ever coming, or is it ever coming? The Garena Premier League results. We also have the Varus meme competition that we'll be talking about there itself. So it should be pretty interesting to talk about. So for those of y'all who want to listen to like the competitions and the updates, that'll be the first part of it, and the second part will be more on the C side of things. So starting it off, the first thing of the competitions. Now, season 2 finale, as we draw closer towards it, we are seeing more teams playing more rank. We also see that Garena has more competitions coming up along the way. Are y'all, meaning John and Impressions, are you guys both going to try out for it?
Yeah, definitely.
That wasn't a very convincing yeah.
Yeah, it kind of gave me. You had to give me a while to think about it, because as you know, there's this certain how do I put this, mentality or maybe mindset in Southeast Asia that we're probably not gonna join this tournament since there are no banned teams, which is quite a little thing, since a lot of the players are actually afraid of joining tournaments because they just think that they stand no chance whatsoever against the teams with well-respected teams, or strong teams like the Singapore Sentinels and etc. So I've been playing competitively since closed beta, since the very first tournament, I think of last year's March, which was the first blood tournament at Kakabo in Singapore, and we actually got third for that, if I recall correctly. And ever since then, people have been afraid of the strong teams. They don't really dare to join tournaments because there are no banned teams, and they just don't dare to take the chance, or perhaps that golden opportunity that, and this slight possibility that you might win, they just totally neglect it and they don't join tournaments and etc. Which makes it, and you see all the familiar faces winning tournaments instead, like the current players in Singapore Sentinels and etc.
Okay, but what about your team? I believe you're in a team, right?
Yeah, I am in a team.
So will your team be trying out for the qualifiers?
Yeah, definitely, like the training ground Singapore, which is coming up tomorrow actually. Or by the time this podcast is out, maybe it'll be going on already, so I have no idea.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, we feel. Wait, it's just the qualifiers only tomorrow of round 1, right?
Yeah, I think there should be multiple qualifiers, like how there was. There was actually 3 or 4 qualifiers for WCG last year.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can't be sure about it. There's no real confirmation. No, they don't release such details early on.
Okay. And what about you, John?
Well, for me, my team, we took part in the Tristana Cup, and that was probably the end of our competitive side of it. Mainly because we had a go at it and we saw the difference in skill level. So to actually reach that type of standard, to go into the season 2 and try to reach a respectable placing, I would say, it will be quite tough. It will take a lot of training and a lot of effort, and none of us really wanted to put in. Well, I wouldn't say none of us. I would say mainly me myself. I wouldn't. Yeah, I would say me myself. I really didn't want to put in that much effort to train and get better and stuff like that. It just took, to me, it just took the fun out of the game a little bit. So I decided to step away from the competitive scene now.
Okay. So for season 2 finale, if Garena had to send one team and only one team, hypothetically here, which team would you actually bet on to be selected? Since recently in the Garena Premier League finals, Taipei Assassins won. Do you think Taipei Assassins would be sent over, or would it be Singapore Sentinels? Or would it be another team?
So you're speaking
Hypothetically.
Yeah, in the sense that there's only one team from our entire region out of the 6 different teams.
Yeah.
Well, honestly speaking, I would still go for the Taipei Assassins, because how do I put this? Since the start of GPL, I've been betting on it that TPA is gonna get it instead of TSS. You have to forgive me. Yes, I'm a Singaporean, but I'm supporting for some other country. So yeah, I'll still definitely go for TPA because they are actually more well known internationally as well. European players actually know of the Taipei Assassins and etc. But I'm not so sure about the standing of TSS on the international level as well as on their grounds. How popular are they, how well known they are. So I'm just gonna go with TPA for this question.
John, what about you? Your predictions?
Well, okay. I was watching State of the League, one of the episodes, and Skara actually gave his comment about the GPL, and he said that Taipei Assassins were going to take it by a landslide, and this was even before the matches were played. So based on that, and I didn't really see a lot of the matches being played. I would agree with Anthony. I would say, yeah, Taipei Assassin really does have that edge with them. If all the pro players are already recognizing them as a team, I'm sure that they would probably take it. But I'm still a Singaporean. I'm still going to support TSS, and I really hope that TSS would give them a strong run at it and try to go for glory in the end.
Yeah, like what you mentioned about the international scene and all, basically knowing Taipei Assassins. In the second podcast, the one previously before this, Juhuti did mention that there have been skirmishes among Taipei Assassins with, if I'm not mistaken, CLG and things like that. And if I'm not mistaken, Taipei Assassins won 4-1 in a total of 5 games. So
yeah, but it's CLG, they just like to quarrel with each other. That's all they do.
Yeah. Anyway, with season 2 coming up, obviously there'll be more development, so we'll keep you guys updated about that. Now with season 2, there's also a little issue that had surfaced up on the NA side, which was a petition to get Australia in, because Australia was left out. Well, I wouldn't say left out. Well, let me just try to explain this. Technically, Australians are supposed to play on the North American server, and because of that, they're supposed to participate in the North American competitions. But Australia now wants a separate allocation for them to enter the season 2 finale. What do you guys think about it? Should they actually play on the NA tournaments as per their server, or should it be another separate thing out there?
I think the problem lies is that Australia doesn't have their own server. They're playing on the NA server, and how IPL 5 is designed where
it's not IPL 5, it's season 2.
It's not IPL 5. Oh, season 2 is designed. It's where you get a few teams from each region, right? I'm not sure how many teams. So But at the end, if like an Australia team makes a team on the NA server, it's representing NA, but it's not representing Australia in a sense. So it's kind of weird. It doesn't really make much sense to me.
So you think they should be allowed to make their own team and send their own team based on their own qualifiers?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Do you know any Australian players?
No, I don't. Sadly to say, I don't.
I mean, as much as they are like making their own team, I don't know if there are any Australians watching this, and you have a team, let us know, because I have no idea if there even is an Australian team. Their impressions, have you any idea?
Honestly, the only Australian gaming teams I know of are Battlefield teams, so I wouldn't know any of League of Legends teams also, but I do know there are quite a few Australian players that actually play on C as well.
Yeah, I only know few Australian players, not teams.
Yeah, exactly, so I wouldn't know anything about teams.
Well,
The
I guess
players, yeah, definitely.
I guess on the next podcast I'll get the Australian player to come on and see what he has to think about this.
I'm just wondering, for the Australian players, which server would they have better ping on? Would it be the C server or the NA server?
Honestly, I feel the Korea server. Yeah, I actually feel
Those
that they have
Koreans
better-
are OP, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So we all think that Australia should get it. There is a petition being signed on the NA forums itself. If you agree with it and you want to help them out to get it there, please go up and sign up there if you are playing on any server. Or you can just sign up for your forums itself there. We'll move on to IPL 5. Now, what am I saying? Australian, sorry. The North American qualifiers and the European qualifiers have both started already, and we see certain teams moving up in the brackets. In total, there will be 4 qualifiers for each region, which meaning in total there will be 4 teams from each of the regions respectively that will go into the grand finals. And Asia has been lucky to be accepted in this time. So we'll be having our own qualifiers, and that will be via Garena itself. What do y'all think first of the Asian servers being inputted into the IPL 5 now?
John, would you like to start first?
Alright. I think it's a great thing that Southeast Asia is finally getting recognition on pro League of Legends in a sense. So it's really encouraging as a country to actually watch and support our teams to as they compete in this high-end tournament. I mean, look at the prize pool; it's ridiculous. So yeah, it's kind of exciting.
It also would be exciting to see an Asian team actually win, to come in and actually win. And I know you were talking about the Taipei Assassins before this, and it would be really remarkable if they would actually go there and win. It would do tremendous amounts of help to the esports gaming community here in Asia. I mean, like what Impressions had talked about earlier, many people think these better teams or these more renowned teams are untouchable, unattainable, and we clearly see that these people started from somewhere. At the rate things are going, it seems to be growing in the past 1 year, as Impressions mentioned he had started 1 year ago. These teams were in their infancy, I would say, and even now they're still pretty young teams, and they're already doing pretty well out there as compared to the older international teams. So to me, honestly, I am really excited that IPL 5 is there. It would be, I think, the first testing grounds or the first official tournament where the Asian teams would be able to see how well they're doing up against the pros out there.
I mean, it's a lot easier for the NA side to, like how you said, the older teams that came into the competitive scenes and stuff like that. But in Southeast Asia, I don't know, when it started, it didn't really have a clear-cut line to those that wanted to go pro. It's a good thing now that you can finally see that, yeah, Southeast Asia is getting recognized. So that's my main thing, is when I'm playing on the NA server and I see people bashing on, oh, this guy's Asians, like how we bash on Vietnamese in Southeast Asia. It's the same thing, We don't get that recognition, but now it's finally starting to come up, and it looks pretty good. It's starting to get really exciting.
Impressions, what is your impression on
Okay.
as an emissary of the league, what do you think the community response is towards this? Like, do you think the community is actually ready for this, or is it just the select few teams that we're actually talking about here? And when when I say that, what I mean is that, like, will the competition just be solely among these top teams, and for everybody else who goes in, they're basically, just build up to the grand finals where these two ultimate teams meet up to each other, or will there be, strong players in the community who actually want to fight to get up there?
Honestly speaking, yeah, I feel that there are definitely gonna be players, that's really enthusiastic on, fighting the strong teams, going up. As in, since the start of the server, like I said and mentioned early on, there are a lot of players that they just really don't want to, spend time on something they see as, hopeless, like, John over there. They just find somehow or other that, you have to commit time, you have to commit a lot to just training, adopting new tactics, trying out new metas. And some people just don't think that it's going to be worth it. They just think that I'm going to spend so much time on this and it's going to be pointless because I'm going to get trashed by TSS at the end. Some general mentality there. It's like how Singaporeans actually have this mentality that, I study, I work, I eat, I die. Somehow or rather lah. So, this mentality sticks with us in gaming as well, which I find it, fairly disappointing that a lot of players, there are a lot of good players I've seen in like scrim matches or even in ranked solo, surprisingly, that I asked, are you playing competitively? Are you going down this Sunday to join the tournament? They say no. Why? My team doesn't want to join that tournament because I feel that we're gonna get trashed. Now I've heard very sad answers like that. So I feel that players should really just take the initiative, go with your team. Like the team I'm currently with, we're just gonna go in, try our best. I'm just gonna be a little bit arrogant here. I'm gonna say we're gonna go for gold, hopefully get it. But if we don't, it's gonna be a good experience nonetheless. And we're still good with the community. We're still, friends with the good so-called high elo players or the high competitive players like TSS. And there's also Sleeping Giants as well.
Sleeping Giants looks pretty good.
Yeah, and my current team, Nice Young Men, we have been playing for quite a while now. So, now that I reformed it, people actually know who in hell's name we are lah. And the players are quite recognized as well. Although I'm not sure if you guys know who is in my current team lineup, but
that's so oxymoronic, right? The players are recognized. I'm not sure if you know.
I'm not sure if you guys know. There are actually quite a bit of well-known players on C, like well-known players from Dota, well-known players from many different games.
I mean, so, a segue here, like you mentioned about people generally having this mindset of, if I can't beat them, why bother trying?
Yes.
Okay. But, I mean, let's look in perspective here. Many of the players or many of the teams itself have a weak link.
Yes.
Okay.
True. Very true.
And this one weak link normally is what the team just is unable to raise up or unable to strengthen up in that sort of sense. And when they look at other teams, it seems like, okay, these players have, 5 good players. Like, how difficult is it finding a team of 5 really good players that have the potential to make it big? I mean, I believe that's what every team is looking for. 5 really good players, if they really want to make it big, versus 5 good friends, where it's like tough to say goodbye to one person, where we have to replace you if you want to go any further. I mean, since you just reformed your team, impressions, what do you think about that statement?
Honestly speaking, in games, in life, in a lot of things, there's such a thing called politics, as you just mentioned, or friendship. In fact, they somehow or rather just cause politics, which is a very ironic thing, because friendship and politics shouldn't come together. And there are actually player transfers or entire team, or like let's say I have this really strong team, but somehow or rather my solo top is keeps losing out, he's on tilt, or maybe it's just off form, or maybe it's just bad. And I want to get this new solo top for my team. But this new solo top, only wants to work with a jungler in his current team. So that's where the politics come in. You know, I want to take your player, or I want to push him over to my team, but I have to get your jungler at the same time. But my jungler is fine. So there are, other than friendship and like what you said. Firstly, you mentioned this really good 5 players. Then secondly, you mentioned friendship, but there are also politics as well, like player transfers, like what I just said lah. So honestly, I feel that teams that have a bond, a friendship, they'll definitely be a lot stronger, because you won't get into fights as easy, or arguments. Like, let's say if I'm not very close with like John, he's my jungler and I'm at mid, and I say, hey John, why didn't you gank my lane? Then he's like, I couldn't gank the lane. You know when you're not doing very well, generally you just try somehow or other, not maybe not try. Yeah, to blame the jungler.
Blame the jungler.
Yes, to blame the jungler. So somehow or other, good players will know the mistakes and the faults they do and they make during a game, during laning phase, during team fights. But some people will somehow or other find something to blame on, to put the blame on, to perhaps like try to shift the blame over to the jungler. So it depends really on if your team has the mentality to work, even though you're friends and you don't really have such a strong individual player skill. And to another thing, which is you put 5 really strong players into a team and they have no coordination whatsoever.
I mean, can't coordination be built, but skill is more difficult to actually attain?
To be honest, it really depends, because okay, coordination can be like, but skill wise, you can actually if you're talking about mechanics, those are pretty easy to pick up. But in-game skills, those that come with experience, the kind of things you do, how you look at a game while you're playing it, sorry, you can actually improve in a very short while. But it's just how you play the game itself and how you look at your mistakes. Where some people will blame others for their mistakes during laning phase, which is total nonsense. Or some people will actually, they think a lot. If I recall correctly, there was this. Do you guys know of the WoW player called Athene?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, he made this video. Okay, about what was it? I can't really recall what it is right now, but technically he made this video talking about how you view mistakes in game, how you learn from them, and how you slowly improve if you actually put effort into it, rather than using ego to play the game. Use your brain and your mind to play the game, and then slowly afterwards you improve, you get better, you know what you're doing is wrong, you learn from your mistakes and such.
Okay. I mean,
yes, backwards rationalization. Yes, that's what the video he made about.
I think just touching on what Anthony said about the mentality of the teams, as my opinion, I find that skill can be trained, but coordination is really difficult because there's a lot of personalities in the team. So everybody in a team needs to be on the same, like, how should I put it? They should be on the same boat. They should think together as a team. If they make a mistake, how are they going to improve from that and thus get better? But a lot of the teams, like what Anthony said, they play the blame game. They don't really take the effort to realize their mistakes and improve. And then that's where politics comes into play. And like when solo mid, when TSM played pretty poorly, I think it was in IPL 4, right? They did pretty bad. They got trashed by Moscow. What Reginald said the day after on his vlog was that we realized our mistakes, and what we're going to do is that we're going to theory craft every day for like 3 or 4 hours or something like that. They actually came up with a solution to the problem, and they tried to work at it instead of just being like, oh, we need to play better. They took like practical steps towards it. And also touching on the mentality of the aspect, if we look far back into the competitive scene in Europe, where Wicked was actually still part of SK at that time. Wicked couldn't get along with Candy Panda because
Yeah.
he felt that Candy Panda was not taking the competitive scene seriously. He would come late for practices. He would have friends over while he's having practice, and then he wouldn't use his mic. These type of examples were given, and Wicked actually broke apart from that team and formed his own, and then slowly joined in with CLG on the Europe side. So there are a lot of things that happen. It's really mainly about the mentality, whether everyone is on the same wavelength. Once everyone is, then the team can succeed and actually can go through and get that goal, like what Anthony said.
I mean, we're talking here about mentality, and it's kind of a crossover to the next one about the Asian community now. I mean, it's pretty well known that the Asian community isn't very confrontagious, if that's even a word.
Okay.
I mean, many people would either one, not want to admit their own mistakes.
Yep.
Okay, and two, even recognize that they have mistakes that they need to improve on in the first place. I mean, and we see that pretty much in games where people have 1400, 1500 ELO and they think they're God.
Yes.
Yes.
And like,
That
and then,
was
and
a
then when you,
legendary player.
yeah, and then when you go up to like 1.7, we see another new type of players, that these humble players, where they actually play, they know they're good. I mean, if the team is doing bad, they motivate their team and things go up there. So it's like, how when we talked about, personalities, we talked about the state of mind, we had talked about like the Singapore mentality of, I study to work, to eat, to die. Okay, so how can the Asian community here basically change this? Like, I'm pretty sure if Anthony's team, gets third placing in tomorrow's tournament at Bugis, and it's because of a mistake, I'm pretty sure they're not going to sit down every day for the next 3 hours and theory craft.
Yeah, I mean, that's just on the level of TSM, because TSM is already at that really high-end pro level where the prize pool is like their bread and butter, it's so much of money. So that's why they said, yeah, we need to theory craft for 3 hours or something like that.
No, but I don't know. To me, I see the Asian community as I point my finger at you, and that's about like, it's never my fault. It's always somebody else's fault. And I mean, the whole I blame the jungler thing doesn't really work in the Asian community because it's everybody else's fault but my fault.
But it works it's the same way in any server when you're playing with anybody else. It's same with every gamer out there. It is just natural instincts to actually blame other people and think that you are always doing right.
Well, I clearly know I'm not always right. My ELO reflects that clearly well. I played 2 games with impressions, I think at like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. I think yesterday, right?
Yeah.
God, that game was so intense.
Yeah, I tried pretty damn hard.
Oh, God.
To be honest, really.
So I guess the tip for the day for our Asian community players to get better is to recognize your own mistakes and put in a conscious effort to learn from them.
I mean, recognize your mistakes. I mean, say you're sorry about it during in-game, but actually improve on it. Not, derp and say like, no, it was my support that didn't heal me, or jungler didn't gank me.
But honestly speaking, in C, for solo rank, those are actually very, very viable excuses. Because sometimes you do see junglers that don't gank, and you do see supports that heal themselves or shield themselves and goes in and dies, which I've seen a lot of times. I've seen nonsense, I've seen shenanigans. I tell you, I've seen so much.
Yeah,
so
I saw my pressure too.
Server, I swear.
Okay, man, just to put in perspective, so that people know what we're talking about here, can you just mention your highest rating ELO and your current ELO?
Okay, the top rating I've attained on the C server is 1836, 1.8k ELO, 1.83k ELO. And my current elo is at a sad and pathetic 1695.
Still better
Yeah.
than mine. My top elo was like 1610 or something like that. And my lowest elo, I mean, not my lowest, my current elo is like 1550 or something like that. I can't really remember.
I shall not mention mine due to embarrassment.
Due to several reasons, my friend.
Yeah, I mean my highest was only what 1508. I didn't even reach goal, and like I'm 13 something now. Yeah, thanks to impressions games where I lost.
Hey, don't blame me, blame the jungler.
Well, you
Although
were
I
the
was
jungler that game.
I was the jungler in the game.
You
So,
were
yeah.
Udyr, I was Ari.
Yeah, but hey, it's your fault. Nivea got fat.
Okay, moving along onto the Asian community now. We have the Garena Premier. Oh my god, I have no idea what's going on with my tongue today. But we have the Garena Premier League results. Finally I can say it right. And the winning team was, as Kara predicted on State of the League, it was in fact the Taipei Assassins, with Singapore Sentinels coming in second and the Saigon Jokers taking third. It was a clean sweep for both Singapore Sentinels and Taipei Assassins, except for the last one, the last match, the
Sanguine
finale.
Jokers? What team is Sanguine Jokers?
Saigon
Saigon.
Jokers.
Saigon, no, what, I don't,
Sandrine Jokers. What?
I don't know, man. It looks like Sandrine to me.
Seems like you have a
Saigon
crush on
Jokers.
or something.
You have to forgive us Asians here. Apparently, some of us can't pronounce words.
The Saigon Jokers are the Vietnamese team.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, and they did surprisingly well. Especially their jungler was BB8. BB8. BB8 was his own name. I'm sorry, SJ8.
oh,
I'm not sure if anybody's seen the Vietnamese games, but they did amazingly well, to be honest. Especially the Shyvana and
so
the
was
Saigon Jokers.
Water playing mid again?
Yeah, Nyx was playing mid.
Wait, Saigon Jokers had Nyx Water?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Huh? Are you sure?
Yeah.
I didn't see Nyx Water throughout the entire stream. Holy.
I don't know, he may have had a different account name or something of that sort, but if I'm not mistaken, he did play. If I'm not mistaken, he was mid. I mean, segue to Sally's blog, even she did mention that Nyx Water was playing, so unless I got something completely wrong, I'm sorry, but I believe it is Nyx Water that was playing mid.
Ah, I see. That was, if that,
Well,
if
we can
that,
see why they took third.
yeah, exactly. I mean, Nyx is unbelievably good AP player. So,
Mid is pretty damn good, though.
He plays Twisted Fate with armor, yes. I still don't understand that.
In normal rank games, when I'm supporting and I'm on the opposite team and Nyx Water is on the opposite team and he's playing mid, I have to remember to like ward every single area because this guy is going to roam 24/7. It's just so
Well, he is
aggressive,
known
his
for
playstyle.
that, so yeah.
His playstyle is so aggressive.
Yeah, okay, with the Garena Premier League results, so there's not really any surprises there. Were you surprised that Saigon Jokers actually beat out the KL Hunters to take third spot?
to be honest, I was, cause for me personally, I am pretty close with the Kuala Lumpur's Hunters AD carry Hagane. As you all have seen on stream or maybe personally know as well, I am pretty close with him, and I was really rooting for Malaysia to go for at least third, and when they got they got pretty much thrown around after mid game by the Saigon Jokers, so I was pretty disappointed with Malaysia not getting even a podium placing.
For me, it's like, I mean, I'm not gonna like bash on anyone or say anything, but I would say I wasn't really like, I expected the Vietnam team to actually go ahead of the KL team, mainly because of experience. I mean, the Vietnam team has always, ever since Garena had the first tournament, was it Garena? No, ever since WCG, yeah, it was one of the first WCGs where Singapore and Vietnam all took place, and then like I think Singapore came in third or something. That's when Voyage got known for his team. Yeah.
Meza
Vietnam.
Mayo.
Yeah.
Meza
So
Mayo, yes.
yeah, so the Vietnam team has been around for quite a while. So they have probably been training for a lot longer than the KL Hunters, and yeah, I wasn't too disappointed at it.
I mean, for the other teams that were there, which is from Thailand and Philippines, right? What did you think of their performance throughout their competition?
I didn't watch their matches, so I wouldn't really know.
Impressions were you watching?
To be honest, the Philippines and Thailand teams, is it?
Yeah.
I've never really had that much of an impression on the Philippine teams ever since the season 1 finals, where I'm pretty sure the two of you saw the season 1 finals, where the Philippines team used Twisted Fate and beat him hybrid.
Yeah.
And ganked with the blue card, and Amu misses the most brain dead Q stuns ever. So I didn't really watch the Philippine games, but I saw the Thailand games. There was a game where the KL Hunters went against the Thailand team, which was I don't Bangkok something. I don't know what their team name is.
Bangkok Titans.
Yeah, Bangkok Titans. And as a team, they have the basic kind of coordination and gameplay, and they do know how the meta works, but they just kind of lost out in individual skills and slowly got overfarmed, and they got caught a lot as well. So yeah, I wouldn't have much to comment on because I don't really know so much about their team, but all the teams should have a chance. They should have a shot, and you should definitely look out for teams that are rising or representing a country and etc.
I mean, for me, I don't know anybody from the Philippines team, but I actually do know someone from the Thai team, or well, someone who was supposed to be there but dropped out after that. John, and I believe Anthony, you know him as well.
Your bro, sir.
Yeah. I wasn't sure whether I wanted to say the name or not. I want to say his new name, and I'm like, oh wait, how do I pronounce it? Alias something.
I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Maria? Did you just say Maria?
No, not Maria. What alias? I can't pronounce it. Yeah, Hakaritos. It's he has too many accents in the name. I can't pronounce it. Yeah, I mean, he was telling me what was going on there and things like that as well. And he didn't actually play in the thing because he had left the team. So it could be because he had been training with the team and they had left. So coordination, one of these other things were not really for the team there. But I'm looking forward to see what else they can do with a proper solid team from the very beginning to the very end of the competition itself. Excuse me.
Wait. Alias is a Thailand player?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On C.
Yeah.
That will explain a lot. Of course, I'm just kidding. He's a good jungler, though he gets misunderstood a lot.
Misunderstood.
Yeah, misunderstood a lot. Yeah, so
yeah, he's actually quite a decent player.
Yeah, he's
I've screamed with his
jungler,
team.
to be honest.
I've screamed with his team quite a few times, and yeah, it was quite challenging. There were some times we came on top, but most of the times they came up on top. So they're pretty alright.
I mean, any team that works together should be pretty decent, unless they were recently formed and they are all unranked. Then I'm sorry about that teams. But anyhow, talking about the Asian community, we do see that on the NA side, the spectator mode has been released. Correct me if I'm wrong here. When is it ever coming? Impressions? Our wonderful emissary, do you have any background information about it?
Okay, first of all, I should have done this at the start. This is my disclaimer, that as an emissary, I am not a paid staff of Garena. I'm doing this as voluntary work. I keep players in line. I smack them with the summoner code hammer or whatever when in need, and I provide general answers to frequently asked questions, like simply silly questions that some people have. I do. So I'm good with mechanics of the game. How armor pen works, etc. But I do not get no inside information from Garena. And even if I do, I'm pretty sure I can't leak it out to all of you. See, as Jeruti has done, he hasn't said anything much about the in-game stuff, and so I wouldn't know anything about spectator mode. When is it coming? Is it ever gonna come to Singapore and Malaysia, the SEA servers, or any of the Garena servers? But I am looking forward to it. It's a pretty interesting thing. I actually set up a game casting kind of channel with one of the old players. I think John, you should remember him. He's another Indian, Random Pigeon.
Pigeon. Oh
yeah,
Pigeon.
yes, Random Pigeon.
My
Yeah,
favorite
Pigeon.
Indian friend.
Yeah, so I actually have set up a game casting channel, and yeah, we might go with the spectator mode and etc. Yeah, and it's definitely not a PG rated kind of channel.
This is what real men do, swear at each other while they play.
But I
Yes,
thought they were nice
exactly.
young men. I thought they're supposed to be nice young men.
No, that's the theme. This is not the channel.
Yeah, that's the theme. And the channel is not the nice young man, so.
For me about the spectator mode, I'm just gonna flat out say it. It's expected that it's delayed in the C server. Usually a lot of the content that's being released on the NA, by the time it comes over to the C server, it's either 1 or 2 patches or even more behind. Most of the time, it's only like 1 patch behind, but there are certain times where it gets delayed pretty long. And I'm guessing the reason why is because usually when new patches come out on the NA server, the server becomes really unstable. It becomes very buggy. You get random people disconnecting from rank games, and then a lot of people complaining on the community forums, and then there's lost forgivens and stuff like that. So I'm guessing what Garena is trying to do is just to make sure that their servers are stable enough so that they can handle the content, because it's quite a big update. In a sense, like you're implementing something totally new on top of the game itself, and that should it could create a lot of problems. So I would really hope that it is next patch, the next patch, that we get the spectator mode, but I'm not keeping my hopes up.
I mean, talking about bugs and things like that, I mean, after the Varus patch, I have experienced like countless of bugs. After Twisted Fate ultis and Nocturne ultis at the same time, my whole team views Twisted Fate as carrying a gold card with him, having his 3rd skill active. We've had permanent blue buffs on.
Oh, that bug's been there since before Varus.
No,
Yeah,
but like it's become more common now. Like before this, it required a few combinations to make it like happen. But now I saw up to 3 blue buffs on a person, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's probably
Yeah,
just
and his
client
mana
side bug.
regen was like 200. He took a screenshot of it, and we were like, what? He has hardly any mana regen items, but his mana regen's at 200. He could never finish his mana.
Yes, and there was this flash bug.
Yeah, the flash bug.
Yes,
Oh, God.
the mastery bug. I'm glad nobody did it in C rank.
Oh, they
Although
did.
I did see someone with the bug mastery page.
Yeah.
I think I'm not sure whether or not it's still there, but I did see someone with 13 in summoner cooldown reduction.
Yeah.
Instead of at 1 point, so the smite flash.
Right.
the spin hits,
As soon as it was discovered, Riot did patch it immediately, and then they took action on the people that abused that bug in ranked games and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was abused quite a bit.
I mean, like, okay, technically, it's not actually wrong to abuse it, is it? Like, it's a bug, it's not really their fault that they found out.
Yeah.
Well, but
I guess it's not according to the summary code because it is like kind of cheating. If you're like just going around spamming flash here and there as cinch to toss people back and forward.
I saw that video. Oh my god.
Well, they did abuse the bug for their own personal gain, so I'm pretty sure punishment or like a ban or something should be in order lah. I mean, if you tested the bug out in custom, went around smiting creeps in the game where you're all alone and trashing bots, I mean, I have no complaints. But if you in C, personally, I've not seen anybody in rank, abusing the bug. So no, I've honestly have no complaints, and it's pretty nice to see that none of the C players actually did this with the bug. Probably because of the kiaso mentality. If I use this in rank, I might kena ban. I don't wanna. So,
So yeah, no.
yeah. So yeah, there are reports in NA where people use this to gain elo. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's patched.
Holy shit! Right.
Terror.
All of a sudden, we were hit by a hurricane.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like I was saying, it's nice to see nobody abused the bug in ranked of C. I wouldn't know about NA because I don't play in NA. So yep.
Okay. Talking about patches and things like that. With the latest patch of Varus, we only had one alternate skin, like the normal one, and oh god, I can't remember what's it called.
Bling bling. That looks like a bling bling Varus.
Yeah, Blind Crystal. Yeah, the one that is orange.
Come on, blink blinks.
Yo, I'm bling bling Varus in the house, yo.
What are your impressions? What are your impressions on Varus? Like, I played him 2 games. He just moves so slow. Oh my god, I feel like a tortoise.
Well, Varus. Okay, I tried Varus at bottom lane as the AD carry, and honestly, I wouldn't recommend it because Varus is kind of he kind of, how do I put this? He kind of is ironic in his own sense. As in, you're supposed to do this. You're supposed to have positioning like Ashe, whereas you hit and you don't get touched on or you don't get hit at all. But you have range of someone like Vayne, whereas you have to go in, make sure you keep getting those 3 hits off, get the procs off, get the procs off all over again, while you're basically life stealing back or even just kiting with your condemn. As whereas Varus is, you have a slow on E, you have a charge shot on Q, which is far range, and you have the skill shot ulti, which is kind of like this skill shot ulti is kind of like Ashes, but it's a lot shorter and it's not global.
You mean should it not be like Caitlyn spilled over?
That's probably
that's about it, right? That's about it, right?
Yeah.
The range is about it, so.
It's about half a Nocturne's ulti at level 1. Yeah, around there lah. So
Your math is amazing. Half of a Norton's ulti at level 1.
yeah, theory crafting, no problems, man. Yeah, so technically you have to keep in mind that if you play as an AD carry, your laning phase is just hands down dominate, regardless of what comms you are going against. This I should know because I actually just literally trashed I think it was Alistar Graves, which was quite a combination since Alistar WQs in, you get pulverized, and Graves come in with his sliding thing, the E. I have no idea what the skill is called.
Dash, something like a dash.
Yeah, goes for the buckshot right in your face, and that's a lot of damage. Whereas when you're playing Varus, you kind of just neutralize laning phase 100%. You just take the lane, hands down, no problems at all. With your your unique skill set. Varus kind of like a windrunner from Dota with his Q and somewhat of a R, the what's the corrupting something else?
Corruption.
The
Corruption
ultimate
spread
Chain of
something. Chain of
corruption.
corruption.
Chain of corruption.
it's the ultimate.
The Medusa looking thing from Dota, to be honest. It
Medusa.
kind of slides towards you, something like that. So, like I was saying, Varus totally, no, he literally just smashes your face during laning phase. But his transition into late game and team fights isn't.
Strong.
It just isn't. To be honest, it's not even strong. It just isn't there, because you have such a short range. You have range like Vayne's, but you need positioning like Ashe's, whereas Ashe has, I think, 650 range, if I recall correctly, which is only comparable with Tristana and Caitlyn. So it's really, really hard for you to get hits off while making sure you're casting your spells. You're throwing down the slow, you're throwing out your piercing arrows, and you've already thrown out your ulti, making sure that you gave everything to the team fight, while not getting probably not getting get close on by like Irelia or Jax, which will totally take you out, or maybe even Xing Cao, who isn't really seen nowadays.
Yeah.
So
even like Malphite that ultis to you and you're basically gone. Like
yeah, they even get closest AP casters such as Fizz.
LeBlanc gone. Immediately melt.
You have literally zero transition into late game, because you can't do anything in team fights except for throw your spells, and that's not gonna be enough as a role of AD carry.
But I mean, two of his skills does scale with AP. So do you think he'd be more of a hybrid? I don't know. Is this a new meta? Not
I
AD
don't
carry,
think so.
hybrid
Yeah,
cast.
AP skilling
hybrids
isn't that good.
hybrids kind of went out of fashion or something. I don't know. It kind of went out of the meta, because there are champions that can still hybrid, kill Akali for example, even Jax, but people nowadays tend to build hybrids as pure AD or pure AP. Like Kill used to go hybrid, now goes solo top or jungling as pure AD or tanky AD. Whereas there are champions that still have to build hybrid, like Katarina and Akali. They aren't usually played in the competitive scene as much, because they just get shut down so easily during laning phase. Whereas come team fights, you get blown to Kingdom Come lah. So so that their hybrids, they just really ran out of the meta, and I'm not sure Varus is such a good hybrid champion as well.
Okay.
For me, my thoughts on Varus is that I agree with Anthony. He is really strong in the laning phase, especially if you put him up with like someone with the stun, like a support, like Leona. Leona Varus is really, really strong. At level 6, you can kill almost anyone at lane. So it's like all you need is Varus to just start his ult, and you snare someone, and then Leona throws down that combo, and then that guy is pretty much dead from there. So I would say that early game Varus is really strong in the lane, but what I'm thinking that would you want a 6-item Varus compared to a 6-item Tristana? That's when it comes down to the late game. Will Varus still be as effective? And like what Anthony said, I don't think that Varus will be as effective, because there's so many champions with cap closers out there. You have to at least get an exhaust up. That's like your only means of survivability. Especially for bruisers like Nocturne jumping on you or something like that. You only got exhaust, and then maybe Quicksilver Slash for those that got stun gap closers like Malphite. But it really comes down to the late game meta, where he won't be as effective as 6-item Tristana or 6-item Vayne or 6-item Kog'Maw. But Varus is as good as MF early game, I would say, because MF is really strong early game.
Yeah, I would say so as well. But if someone out there wants to prove us wrong with a 6-item Varus defeating a 6-item Tristana on a one-on-one fight or a team fight, show us a link to the video and we'll happily apologize and resend our words for it.
I hope they're both on the same skill level. You don't get like an 800 elo and a 1600 elo trying to duke it out.
Yeah, but
I mean, we should be able to see the skill difference in the matter of the play, and whether it was a legit play or it was like, oh, oops, you hit me once. I'm doping here. We're actually going to just move on to one of our one of our final topics, which is the Varus meme competition here on Garena.
Oh god.
okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and say what? I remember there was a Lulu meme competition.
It was a Lulu art competition that somehow... No, it was a Lulu comic competition, I'm sorry. And it turned into a meme competition because they said that's a rage comic. And so I think Garena decided to be more clear as to what they wanted. Hence, they made it a meme competition, so yeah. I mean, I'm an avid 9 gagger. Impressions, I know you are one as well. John, what about you?
Sorry, what was that? I spaced out for a bit.
Are you an avid 9 gagger?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so we have two of us that are pretty much used to almost all the memes here. Varus meme, I mean, based on the entries I see there, one, I can't understand 50% of whatever's written there. And I think out of the other 50%, 90% of them are not even funny.
Yeah, I agree.
Not funny at all.
I have not came across one. I mean, I'm looking through it right now. I'm on like page 11. I haven't seen something that has made me laugh or even smile.
I think the English language is just so atrocious. Like, I don't want to read out examples, but oh god, like
it seems like it seems like they're just like thinking of the idea of how OP Varus is, and that's retarded comment about taking an arrow to the knee. It's just, I don't know, that comment is just overplayed already. It's done. It's not funny anymore already.
I still think that many people don't even know whether the name Varus actually carries any significance, which it actually does.
No, there was a meme on it.
Yeah, but that wasn't done originally here. That came out in the NA servers like some time ago when Varus was first being made.
Yeah.
So it's like somebody just copied it and pasted it here. So yeah, great. There's nothing been insightful there. So I don't know. Anthony, what about you? Have you gone through it?
Yeah, I'm looking through the thread now, and I have to say the grammar level is over 9,000. Yeah, yeah. That's so.
You know what? Wait, is the competition still on?
The thread is closed.
Oh damn! You know what I should have done? We should have just made one. Varus meme, grammar level over 9,000. We should have done that. We should have won it.
No, we should make like a meme. I don't always make memes about Varus, but when I do,
grammar fails.
I mean, I'm sorry, community, but really, just
use a dictionary.
I mean, grammar is okay. It's bad. I'm not gonna say it's bad, but
it's not even salvageable. Like something just I can't even make up what the hell they mean. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, and I haven't seen a funny one either.
Well, we shall see how this goes, and we shall see which.
There was one that's alright. It says, "Am I the only one around here who sees people posting arrows to the knees joke?" And it's got this fat dude screaming. That's kind of how I feel right now.
Because you're fat.
Oh.
Low blow.
Oh.
That's so evil, man.
Okay, and the final thing, which was there was a survey for the League of Legends, and it was done by one of the redditors out there, and really it showed pretty interesting things within this image there that was actually below in the descriptions on the YouTube video there itself, saying that 48% of people on the NA server enjoy playing mid lane, when only 21% enjoy playing support, which is kind of sad. And also, 42% of people are younger than 19 years old, and 51% of them are basically between 19 and 25. I hope actually that that Southeast Asia or Garena does do this sort of survey. It would be really interesting to find out what it has over there. Are you guys looking at the same image as I am?
Yeah, I'm looking. One thing that's kind of funny is that they say users things they play well as, and then they put Udyr, and then users that think playing boring, that's boring to play, they also put Udyr.
And Udyr there.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, Udyr is
play
really
well as
strong, but it's
Udyr,
boring
but
to
yeah,
play.
I mean, I kind of agree with like
It
the
is.
Soraka one and things like that. Like, yeah, at times it can get a little boring to play.
I don't
It
think
is not
Janna is
boring to
boring.
play Janna. It is not boring to play
Janna
Janna.
is really fun.
If you want your kicks as Janna, just throw your team. Just blow them away when, just blow all of them away and run. If you want your kicks as Janna, that's about it. But Janna isn't really that boring of a champion when you're playing legit support. I'm talking about legit support here. I mean, the satisfactory feeling you get when you save your teammate.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
a really good Janna ult can save your whole team, or you can make him break
Save an
fight.
entire team fight at late game.
Yeah.
The reset button is just too OP, honestly speaking, if you know how to use it well.
Yep.
But, they did nerf the range of Janna's ulti. If I
Quite a
recall
bit.
correctly. They
but
nerfed
it's
it,
still
but
effective. Yeah.
yeah, but it's still effective, which is why it was a smart move from Riot, because that big of a range really resets the team fight a bit too hard, which makes it a really hard game for the opponent team, because they've spent everything for the team fight. Your Janna resets it, and they just go derp, and they can't do anything, they just have to run. Whereas Soraka is different. Soraka is boring. Now that you can't heal your own mana.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, that's true.
So,
Okay,
yeah,
if you guys scroll down to the average score for now, if we had to rate Garena, obviously we can't rate like skins and things like that. The only thing we can do is quality of forums, server stability, and the quality of Garena stuff. Oh, and the general community. Yeah. So out of these four things, what would your ratings be? So for quality of forums, impressions?
Quality of forums, I'm gonna give you a 1.5 out of 5.
Okay.
This is no laughing matter, man. This is no laughing matter.
I would
John.
be a little bit more gracious, and I would say probably like a 2.8 or something.
I'll give you like a 2 at best, to be honest. The forums is quite sad.
Yeah, because honestly, when there's a major patch, I remember there was a major patch whereas it took 3 full days for the patch to be done. I'm pretty sure John was playing back then. I'm not sure about Pseudo. So there was this 3 days patch,
Yep.
whereas I think they were implementing. What was it that they were implementing? I really can't recall. I think it was
Maokai, wasn't it?
Maokai Oriana patch. It was around there.
It's around there at that time, yeah.
It was about the transition into season 2, whereas the mastery
Yeah.
changed. It's roughly around there. So that 3-day patch just proved to me how bad our community forum was.
Yeah, because the servers were down quite a while, right? And everybody
Yeah,
was.
it was 3 days. Everybody was raging. Nobody could understand why it had to take so much.
I mean, but is that really the quality of the forums, or is it that the general
It's
community?
more of the general
That's like-
community, I guess.
Which makes the quality of the forums kind of go down, because
Yeah.
I mean, we have a perfectly fine forum, but if there was nobody on it, I would give it a 5.
Okay.
So we have a good forum. We have enough sections. We have different subsections. We have different sub forums. We get the news coming in. The threads are getting started, but some of the threads are getting started by really stupid people or really stupid topics. Even smart people start stupid topics at times that
Yep.
really just causes flame wars. They cause rage, they cause everything, they cause chaos, they cause Diablo 3 to be released, I don't know. So, not really.
What the hell?
Forums are chaotic at times, and I
I
who
can
have been on the
I
forum.
can sense Anthony's rage because he's an emissary and he has to take care of all of these things.
Okay, now let's move on to the next one. Server stability. John?
This is it's hard to say. Okay, I will grade it probably like around 3.5 or something like that. That's mainly because Garena has been very cautious about implementing patches so that it doesn't affect server stability, and that the downtime for implementing the patch wouldn't be as long as how it was before. So for that, kudos Garena, you did well.
And impressions?
Honestly, I'll just give it a 4, because there have been a lot of patches. There have been a lot of how do I put this in a very nice way? A lot of okay, let's just put it in this way. There have been a lot of screw ups on Riot sites on the NA server during patches. Because we do not see or we do not get informed that NA had to go for there are emergency
Hot fixes and stuff.
hot fixes, maintenance. To be honest, I feel that the NA side has more downtimes than the C server.
They do, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
although
true.
our patches take longer, NA usually take about 4 to 6 hours for a patch, whereas
Yeah.
us we usually go for 12
12 hours,
a.m.
yeah.
midnight to 1 p.m. of tomorrow, sometimes 10 p.m. of tomorrow, even though we said 12 p.m. of tomorrow. So no, there are times where our patches are on time, sometimes it's late for maybe an hour, and there are times where it comes up even a lot earlier. There's been a 5-hour patch I've seen before. It said 12 a.m. to 8 a.m., but it came out at 5 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, and I don't sleep, I know. So no, I really feel that Garena is doing a very good job in terms of server stability. We don't have sudden emergency patches. Even our hot fixes, they just take about an hour, and the game servers are still gonna be up during then. So
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, which is why I kind of give it a 4. But although although downtimes are a bit depressing because they go like 12 hours or so. So yeah, 4. That was about it.
Yeah, mine would be about between 3.5 to 4 around there. Quality of Garena staff.
Quality of Garena staff. I think the Garena staff is actually pretty good. I mean, whenever you do have a question or a complaint or anything, and if you do go through the proper channels, as in like trying to PM the right GM and stuff like that, they do take the initiative to reply to you a satisfactory answer. It might not be what you're looking for, but there is an answer. So with that, I would say, yeah, I'll give it a 4.5.
Impressions? Anthony?
Because I am unpaid and unofficial staff of Garena, I'm gonna give us a 5.
So if you were paid, then what would it be?
I'll give us a 10 out of 5. But honestly, I have to say that our staff, or the Garena staff, not our staff. The Garena staff is really, really friendly, and except for Jehuti, he BMs a lot. So, so, our staff is really friendly. I personally do talk to them. I talk to a few of the players, the staff. I'm really sometimes really close with the staff. I know people from the marketing side, the server, maintenance side, and even the GMs themselves. And they're really friendly people, and they're doing their jobs well. So, and I'm a very friendly emissary, so I'm gonna give us a 5.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
so-
For me, like, I'll give them a 3, an average, because I mean I've met some of them, and some of them are nice, and some of them are, well, they were complete assholes to me. So I wasn't really convinced. Like, when they realized that I was a clan lord, then they were like, oh, okay, everything was good and well. And before that, you were like, who the hell are you?
Oh,
So
okay. Did you like go down to like a competition and like meet them and stuff?
yeah, I met some of them there, and even online and stuff like that. Even when I talked to them, um, it was a very quick change. Once I told them like what I was doing, like even like to get people on the podcast and things like that, it was quite a hassle. Like they were very reluctant to do that. Even some of the people, I wouldn't say who, but some of the GMs even said that they just couldn't stand listening to the podcast. I mean, I thought they should be a little bit more supportive in like every endeavor that we do. But anyway, so that's my rating. The last one, which is general community impressions.
Can we give a negative score? Can we give like a -5?
I'm just gonna laugh, man. that's my score for you. It's chololololo. To be honest, the general community.
-5.
I'm gonna give it to you straight. Both of my palms are on my face right now.
I somehow just think that there's a lot of kids playing. When I say kids, it's like below 16 or around the age of 16. Like, and it's very childish at times, like listening to them, even like their replies on the forums or even in game and things like that. It sounds so, oh god, I don't know what to say about it. It sounds so bad, so unprofessional, so so negative at times, especially with all even all the racism like against Vietnamese and things like that. I was in a game where we were doing pretty well, okay? Just that the other team was snowballing a bit out of control. So we held out our own. It was a 40-minute game, okay? And at closing towards the end of the game, these two players who were speaking English throughout the whole game started speaking in Vietnamese to each other, okay? And because of that, the two other players on my team started saying Vietnamese noob. You stupid F word, you cost us the game. And I'm like, wait, what? No. We played well, just that the other team played better.
Yeah.
And like I was like, wait, what? Just because they spoke? Like that's horrible. Like, oh my god.
To be honest,
I just couldn't believe that.
The racism is just really, really wrong. Yeah, I'll be honest here. When the Viets first came in, there was a lot of differences between, because back then rank wasn't out, so people were 5-man queuing normals. John, you should know. Yep. So I was queuing with a bunch of players. My old NYM team, which consisted of Maxi and some few other players. I was queuing with Maxi and them. So when we met the Viets, it was kind of a full out flame war insulting kind of game. Whereas you go to Google Translate and you translate English to Viet and then type out in Viet, insults in Viet throughout the entire game, etc. So, there were a lot of differences in, races and etc. But now it's okay because we recognize the good Viet players like Nick Water and Zhao Jin, all the others. I'm not sure how do you actually pronounce Zhao Jin, but I'm gonna pronounce it in a Chinese way. So. We do recognize the good Vietnamese players, as well as the fact that Vietnamese have, they have their good players. They are very versatile players. To me, I honestly feel they are very versatile players, but they have different ways of playing, but it still works. Then people don't give them a chance. They just say, oh, Noob Viet, buy funny item, lose already lah. And it's a really bad kind of, just this. It's like we shut them down before they even have a time to shine. So I feel that there are bad Vietnamese players, but there are also bad Singaporean and Malaysian players.
Yeah, I mean there's bad players everywhere, but I don't think so it's fair that we, just because they are a certain nationality, we say that, oh, they're horrible LOL players. Like, clearly we know good law players. I mean, you are pretty high up there in the ladder system and things like that as well. And we do recognize that there are players that are better. So we have a -5. We have a ha 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 from impressions as a rating,
I
and
don't know. I
I'll
just want to add
give it a
something
1.
else. I just want to add something else. Like the community should be open to more like different country people from different country joining the servers, because one of the main issues that I feel that C server has is the queue time, and the queue time, it's in response to the player pool for the C server. It's really low, especially when you're playing ranked and you're like in the mid 1500s or something like that. You're always you're always meeting the same people over and over again in rank, and the queue times are like 15 minutes or sometimes even longer, unless you play during the peak hour, which is like in the evenings. But if you play like at night, like around 10 onwards, you start to get longer queue hours. And
Yeah, cause like Pseudo said, all the kids go to sleep.
yeah, all the kids go to sleep.
I mean, it's so true. I mean, like, I play at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, okay, my sleeping pattern is completely upside down. And I play and I meet people like Nick's Water, like Bros, and all these people playing at night. And even though the games are tougher for me because I'm not at that skill level, I find the game so much more enjoyable.
Exactly.
Because you actually play against, like, proper players, and where not everybody starting flame wars with each other than blaming each other. I mean, I rather lose my ELO and drop to unranked. I mean, doing that, playing those games where it's actually fun, rather than like arguing with people and listening to people argue with each other throughout the whole game.
I mean, if you look at the first page of the ladder, all right, and you would see that no one has actually reached that 2K ELO mark. And what's the reason for that? I mean, they definitely have the skill potential. Even the Taiwan server has people in the 2K ELO mark. It's just that it's ridiculous, the queue times once when you get up there.
Yeah,
and
I
you're
know.
always fighting the same people over and over again, so it's not as fun. It's very stale, it's stagnant, it's boring. So a lot of people shift over to different servers and play.
Okay, well, it looks like it's coming to the end of our third podcast. Do you guys have any last words that you'd like to end before we end this? Sorry.
None. You go
Well,
first, Anthony.
I do have something to say, is that you said that some of the GMs are assholes to you, but I do believe that many different people have different aspects of things, and yeah, the GMs should support us with what we do, because we are trying to improve the general community with this podcast, which I personally do support, because firstly, people don't support this because they think it's like SOTL or something similar to that. But I do feel that it's a new step for us. We should take this seriously. We should support this. Yeah, so which is why I'm on here in the first place. Cause I could have easily said, I'm not. I really don't want to join this. But no, I feel that it's something new. We should really just support it, and I do enjoy listening to what you all say, or what we say on it as well, because it's actually some good company throughout a game, whereas you get some news into yourself regarding League of Legends while playing a game. So yeah, I personally do feel that people should change a lot about mentality, about their mindset and their attitudes towards various different things. So this is one of them that people should really, try to support, and I personally do approve of this. As an emissary, although I'm not paid or whatever, which is kind of sad.
Okay. Well, this would be the end of the podcast, the Sanctuary Cast episode 3, which was mainly about competitions and of the state of the Asian servers around here. So thank you once again for John coming and joining us once again.
My pleasure, man. It's my pleasure to always be on.
Papa John.
Brother John.
Yeah, I think soon on one podcast we shall just have the discussion of how many names John has come up with. And thank you, Anthony, aka Impressions, for coming on and joining us and giving us your insight on things.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Giving us your impression on things.
Yeah.
The community, man, the community. Various jokes. Oh, various memes, those are so good.
So very good, yeah. So thank you all once again for listening, and this will be episode 3. We'll see you on episode 4 coming next week. Thank you so much. Bye.